Are you a new manager or a team leader? This video could be the one that you've been looking for. I've been a manager for almost 20 years and I'm going to tell you what I wish I'd known before making that jump into management. This is Productivity Ace. Let's get it done. If you're a new manager or about to be a team leader, then this advice is going to be your guaranteed shortcut to avoiding a whole load of mistakes. I've been a people manager for the best part of 20 years, and in that time I've had some great successes and some not so good experiences as well. People management is the most challenging aspect of work, but it's also the most rewarding. It gives you experiences that will live with you forever. Unfortunately, a lot of people management success comes with experience, and that's the one thing you haven't got when you make that jump into management for the first time. It's like navigating a minefield wearing a blindfold. Luckily, you've got the resources like this YouTube channel and other blogs to clear that safe path to success. So listen up, soldier. So reflecting on my experiences, here are a few of the things that I wish I'd known before becoming a manager. It's a different job. So last week you were a technical expert and you were really good at doing that thing for the team. Well, now your job isn't to do that thing. It's to coordinate a group of people who are now responsible for doing that thing you used to do. And this came as a real shock to me when I was first promoted to a management role, and I regularly overloaded myself trying to keep doing that job that I was doing before while also taking on all of my new responsibilities. Being a team manager is a completely different job to being the doer in the team. And as such, there's a whole new series of skills that you need to learn. New responsibilities to own, new relationships to cultivate, and some relationships you'll just need to let go. But being a people manager is the gateway to a really fulfilling and satisfying career. When you first take that failing employee and use your coaching and psychology skills to diagnose the problem and help them fix their issues and get them delivering again, well, you'll be blown away by how that feels. Many new managers still keep trying to do the job they were doing before, in addition to their new responsibilities. Don't get drawn into that trap. In fact, you might want to even consider ripping off that band-aid by relinquishing your access to even do those tasks. I mean, there's really no need for you to do that anymore. You've got a team of people that do it for you, and it's those people that you need to empower and help have success. So as a new manager, getting this mindset solidified is a really critical goal. The quicker you accept it, the better start you'll make. The team can make you or break you. Sometimes you'll be a new manager in a brand new team or be able to build that team up by yourself and shape the culture. Other times you'll be dropped into an existing team or promoted to a management role, sometimes at the expense of your colleagues who may also have been interested in that management role, and that's an interesting situation. The most important lesson here is that the team you inherit, build or acquire is the single most important thing. If they don't succeed, you don't succeed. If they excel, then so do you. It's very much in your interests to invest your utmost energy into making every single person better, and thus maximizing the overall capability of the collective unit that is your team. Because if you don't, and the team doesn't work together to achieve the goals you set them, then you'll fail. And that can happen very easily. You'll have challenges with technical capabilities and also with motivation. Some people might even have agendas and political situations going on. And I can think of one example in my career where I failed to deal with a bad apple in the team who then set about turning everybody else against me. And that was actually a situation I wasn't able to recover from. And I've had it where senior people in your team act as a great support system, picking me up when I'm down and making sure they've got my back when things aren't going well. And that's brilliant. So I wish I'd known that it's all about the team, all about the people. They're what determines your success. It's not about you. Get it in writing. Now, I see people fall victim to this one all the time. As a new manager, you're going to be responsible for the delivery of people, teams and projects. And you'll be interacting with a whole load of people across a multitude of streams and projects and initiatives. Emails flying around everywhere. And there'll be actions for you and actions for others. Now, it sounds obvious, but I wish I'd been less confident in the ability of people to remember things properly. In reality, deliverables and actions, and certainly delivery dates, are subject to significant change as they go through somebody's mind. It's not necessarily their fault, but time after time, people either in your team or elsewhere will fail to deliver what you expected. And it won't be deliberate. The passage of time and the challenges of remembering everything will play their part. And as somebody accountable for the delivery, make sure that actions, dates and expectations are always documented. Make sure meetings are minuted, timelines are agreed and expectations are set in writing. That way, you as a manager will save yourself a lot of headaches because people will fail to deliver. And yes, it's a lot of work to continuously document and get agreement, but it's so worth it. Good enough is good enough. As a new manager, you'll be judged on your delivery and the delivery of the team just like any other manager. And as a new manager, I was full of drive and enthusiasm to deliver at great quality every single time. But delivering great quality with a cherry on the top takes a lot of time and a lot of practice. And I grew to realise that my management were much happier with regular on-time delivery that they could rely on than having those bells and whistles and cherry on the top that would make a super polished offering. Because in reality, achieving that extra polish took way too long and added little value. So as a new manager, realise that all you absolutely need to do and have your team to do is deliver enough. Usually 80% is perfectly fine. If you're able to add that extra 20% of polish, then do it, but don't let perfect be the enemy of good. Concentrate on being good enough and be regular, reliable and consistent and hit your dates every time. Looking back, I spent way too much time on trying to make every project absolutely perfect when that just wasn't necessary. So deliver, do what's needed, and then move on to the next task. You can't do it on your own. I felt really lonely as a new manager, and I'm sure you might be as well. It felt like I was the only one in that situation of trying to work out my role by trial and error. I didn't feel I had anyone who could offer me advice or guidance. My own management had just left me to do it, and as for management training by the company, not a chance. As my experience grew, I came to realise that to be a leader or a manager, you absolutely need a lot of support. You can't do it on your own, so don't even try. And the good news is that there are a ton of support resources available for new managers. Obviously, you've got YouTube channels like this one, you've got the blogs and online training courses, so much for you to consume there. But I found that building relationships with other new managers and also other experienced managers at your company will provide a really great support network of leadership mentors, and that will prove to be a fantastic support network as you grow as a leader. That was really useful to me. So as a new manager, make sure you're reaching out to others in your company. Maybe there's other new managers in the same situation that you can get together with, or experienced leaders that you admire or have already got established reputations in your company. You'll find that they'll be really happy to help you and give you the benefit of their experience. And the other new managers will welcome that partnership and perspective as well that you'll be able to offer them on their own situations. So you cannot and you should not be expected to do it all yourself. And there's loads of this help available, but you'll need to reach out and get it. Please do sign up to our newsletter. We've got so much going on there. Ebooks, Skillshare courses for you that you can take for free, as well as loads more info and all the latest happenings on the Productivity Ace channel, which is growing all the time. The link's in the description. And if you want to discuss your own career challenges direct with me, then book a career clinic session and we can have a chat. There's a fair chance I've experienced a lot of what you're going through. Link's also down there. Hit your dates. You've got to hit your dates. If you say that you're going to complete something in 8 weeks, 8 weeks is what your manager is expecting. If you think it's going to take 6 weeks, then tell them it's going to take 8. And then if it comes in at 7, your manager's going to think you're a hero. As a manager, I'm constantly reporting progress, dates, and our roadmap upwards to senior folks. And they give us the money to perform our work. All these dates feed into budgetary plans and strategy and loads more. So if I'm late, then it means my manager's got some explaining to do to senior people. And that won't go down well. So, looking back, I realised it was super important to estimate work effort accurately, to factor in contingencies, to make your dates accurate and always hit them. Money, money, money. As a team member, I never paid any attention to the money side of things. The only figure I was interested in was how much I was getting paid. And then I became a team manager, and all of a sudden I'm responsible for the salaries of the team, the overall cost of the team to the company, and making all the necessary adjustments to those figures when I have to. I had to understand how much money we needed to operate. I had to crucially understand where that money was coming from or supposed to come from. How were we funded by the business? And what should I do if all of a sudden the business don't want to pay for our services anymore or haven't got the money to pay for them? As a manager, you'll need to know those figures like the back of your hand. You could be called up at zero notice to explain how much your team costs a business, how much your software licenses are, what the salaries are, the discounts you've negotiated with the vendor and how that's going, and the forecasts for future years. You'll need to have all of that information top of mind. I didn't even know these were things that I needed to look at. So as a new manager, make sure you spend your time getting to know the financials in as much detail as you can. Your own manager and senior leadership are looking for people that have got a solid grip on the control of the team budgets and the spend, as this is basically what makes the company able to function properly. So know the money inside and out. People come, people go. Hey, and it's you that needs to manage the ins and outs. Sometimes you'll be moving people on yourself, other times they'll leave and you'll have to replace them. But the hiring and firing of employees is something that you as a manager will be totally responsible for, and it's one of the most important tasks you'll have to perform. And hiring the right people is hard. It's really hard and it takes ages. You'll have to find the right people, ensure they've got the skills to do the job, and also that they not only fit in with your team culture, but have got extra stuff and the ability to add to your culture and make it even better. Now, I've got a whole course on how to hire the right people for your team. You can take it free with the link in the description below. It's a good hour and a half of solid information. It's already helped dozens of new managers master the complex art of hiring great people for their team. So do check it out, because this is one of the most important aspects that new managers need to learn. Ego is your enemy. Good managers are the ones who, despite a jump in responsibility and seniority, are always humble enough to know that they're only partway through their own learning journey. And as such, they're always aware that they don't know it all and have many areas to keep focusing on and developing. The worst managers think that because they've been promoted, they know it all now, they've made it. And that automatically gives them some kind of superiority or level of authority over others in the team. Now, I've seen great people fail in the management and leadership space, tripped up by their own complacency. They become known as being arrogant, unwilling to listen, incapable of changing their ways, and become completely disconnected from their own people. And looking back, when I was a younger manager, I certainly had some elements of thinking I was the big dog. But luckily for me, I had a really great mentor relationship with somebody much more senior than myself, and she quickly pointed out that I was heading down a dangerous road and needed to rein it in. And that, coupled with a lot of work on my own emotional intelligence, allowed me to correct this pretty quickly. But I've seen others that haven't managed to curb their own self-importance, and as a result, they've suffered. By the way, that mentor relationship was really, really useful. I've got a video all about the benefits of participating in a mentoring relationship, either as a mentor or a mentee. Check it out, the link's up there. It's a really useful thing to get involved with. So as a new manager, realize that you're effectively starting from scratch in a new and very challenging subject area. You certainly haven't made it. And embrace the fact that there's a lot to learn. You can do it, and you'll have a lot of fun along the way. Understand the company structure and mission. When I was a regular team member, I didn't concern myself with any of the organisational structure. I didn't know how the teams were structured or who was in charge of them. I couldn't care less. I wasn't paying attention to the announcements or even the company emails and the town hall meetings. As far as I was concerned, that was all too high up, and I was just interested in doing the job that my own manager was asking me to do. All of that extra stuff seems like so much work that I just didn't have time for. Well, as a new manager, that certainly changed, because new managers need to understand the mission of the company, the high-level targets that your own departments are working towards, and you'll need to know and get to know the other managers in your space pretty well. Many of them will be key allies, and you'll form a really good, valuable support network. And that will be super valuable for you as you grow in your new role. All those new managers will be having the same challenges, so the sooner you engage with them, the better. So I wish I'd spent more time understanding how my team fits into the wider organisation structure at the start. It really is a foundational aspect that I've seen many new managers ignore. This isn't magic. Before I was a manager, I used to look at established leaders and people managers with admiration and awe. What they did was far ahead of what I could ever expected myself to be capable of. It was amazing just to watch them. But that was a real mistake. As I grew in experience, I realised that being a leader and a people manager was far from impossible. It certainly wasn't magic. And the more I learned, the more achievable it felt. Just because you haven't been a manager before certainly doesn't mean that you're not a leader or that you can't be a leader. Absolutely not. While there may be the odd case of leaders being born and leading from birth, well, that's absolutely not the case for almost everybody else. Leadership is a skill, just like coding, just like driving, just like project management or baking cakes. It's simply a set of capabilities that can be studied, learned, practiced and refined, and just like anything else, you can get better at it. And great leaders never stop evolving new skills. They never stop evolving their existing capabilities and working out the areas they need to improve, and you can do that as well. But what you'll certainly need to do at the start is learn the process of acquiring the skills, methods, the mindset, the emotional intelligence that leaders need. The fact you're here now watching this video means that you've likely got the right mindset already to want to self-learn and develop those skills to become a great leader. But this is where you come in. Treat it like learning a new language. You'll have to understand the basics, the fundamental building blocks of the leadership alphabet, and then you'll have to learn the words and form them into sentences and phrases. And finally, you'll blend them all together to become fluent in leadership. And just like learning a language, it takes a long time. As a new manager, you're certainly not expected to know it all straight away. But the sooner you can start the process of understanding and building the leadership skills you need, the quicker you'll get to a level of capability that will allow you to succeed. There's so much help available. This is a big one. Many new managers feel completely alone when they take on their new responsibilities. But, and it's certainly a case these days, there's a ton of help available. From online resources, blogs, webinars, YouTube videos like this and on other channels, there's so much available for free. And even within your company, there's loads of great managers. They'll all be more than happy to mentor and help you along the way. You'll find they'll love to spend time with you, helping you with your challenges. In fact, I've got a video all about how to learn to be a leader, and it's up there. It's well worth watching. There's so many resources. I'll see you over there right now. Thanks for watching.